Good morning. Hi. I shouldn't be streaming. I should be in bed. Yeah, but my brain woke up and then my body woke up and they had a fight. They had a tug of war. Brain said, get up, get up, get up, get up. Body said, no, go back to sleep. Brain said, no way. Next thing I knew, I was up and in the shower. Hi everyone. That was a weird intro, wasn't it? I'm feeling better in my coughing because I've taken cough medicine this morning. But yeah. Okay. How are you all doing? I think I see some new names in the chat, which is very cool. And I think Jay is impressed with the title of my stream. Yeah, part 1 of 9999. I'm pretty sure this project is going to go on forever. Forever and never get finished. So, firstly, to those that aren't aware, I'm sick. And I've been battling a chest infection for a while. And I will likely break out coughing during the stream. I apologize to everyone in advance. No one likes watching and listening to people coughing their lungs up, but it's what it is. And I might also have to quickly turn around, not get whiplash, and blow my nose. Okay. Looking into buying an email address and server. Buying an email address. What? Will it evolve into Terminator? This thing? No, it'll likely not even evolve into anything useful. But we'll see. So, disclaimer. I don't design and build mechanical stuff. I love mechanical stuff, but I haven't really spent any time doing it, and I'm not sure I have any aptitude for it. So that's 1. Just a warning. 2, I know nothing about OpenCV. Other than little bits and pieces that I've read. I've not used it. Oh, buying a domain name. Okay, cool. Yes. Didn't know you could buy email addresses. So, yeah. So this project is honestly going to be everyone watching me make a fool of myself. But I have a plan. I have an idea. I don't know how useful it's going to be. I want to build an optical inspection system. I left out the automatic at the start because it won't be so automatic. That I can hopefully stick a panel under and have it show me where there are bad parts that need to be fixed. Fools tread in. Yes. Well, I'm at the start of the queue, Bruce. I'm at the start. So, yeah. Okay. It's going to be interesting. And because I'm feeling under the weather, I'm going to just fumble my way through. Firstly, let's have a say hello to everyone. Excuse me. Ow, here we go. Started already. So, who is in the chat right now? Red Madness, hello. Joe. Flynn, hello Flynn. Ooh, someone's up early. Didn't even see you say hello all the way back then. Mako, good morning. Monster Mark, hi. Anuri. Embedded Hobbyist, good morning. Jay. Crazy Roops. Yay! Graham, good morning. JTax, we've been chatting already. Paul, hello. David Esser, Bruce. Christopher White, we're at warp 10. No, we're at warp 0.0001, which is still pretty fast. I mean, if you consider, right, warp speed, but still. Yeah. Wow. There's just absolute rubbish coming out of my mouth this morning. I look like oh, by the way, I look like I'm on fire, right? Well, look at this. Everyone turn off your assistants. Everyone, are they off? Are they off? Alexa, turn off fire. Alexa, turn on fire. Yay! So I don't have to crawl under the desk anymore and plug it in and out. Anyway, Dave, good morning. Yes, I'm relaxing. This is me relaxing, clearly. Adrian, hello. Patrick, Phil, Gary T, hi. Renee, good morning. Or evening, afternoon, wherever you are. It jumped. Rota, hello. Andy Mouse. Andy Day. Johnny. Tommy, hello. Technology, good morning. Tito, hi. And, oh, no, Jack Mac, hi. Mike Swan, good morning. Tiny LED Matrix, yeah, it did jump, didn't it? Wow. Okay. I hope I've got everyone now. If I haven't, I apologise. Cheers. So, before we get started on the optical inspection, you guys want to see my test jig? Hey Vasim, good morning. Hey Kagers, something like that. Hello, welcome. I have my first working test jig and Rotor's Chromecast reboots. That's okay. Well, ooh, hello Dave, Paul Jones. Good morning. And Rotor, have you changed your thumbnail? Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so I want to show you my if I can now get it over all of the stuff that is on the desk in front of me. Okay. And I've also tidied my desk a little bit. You might be able to see, not a lot, but a little bit, which means we now have we have a desk cam over here. So you can see me fumble with all the mechanical stuff, as well as having, whoops, that's close. As well as having the DSLR. So, here's my test jig. Yay. I have to work out where I'm going to put the battery. They're just hanging off the edge right now. And here's my clamping system. How cool is that? And check this out. Whoop. Clamp gets removed. The clamp is designed to be able to be moved anywhere to clamp a board. So I can just grab a board. Actually, let me just, I'm still working on the UI and stuff. Let me just log into it so we can actually make it work. Okay, booting. So, I can just grab a board, put it in. The idea is that the clamp can be moved to anywhere to hold the board down. And it doesn't even need any pressure. So it's in, and it's going to do a full test. Bang, off it goes. Gonna zoom in a bit, maybe, and let it focus if I can. So you can see what it's doing. It's flashing. So I still have to improve all the visuals here. So while that is going, I did get the rest of my adapter boards. So the new Tiny Pico ones, Tiny S2 and Feather S2. So I have to, testing board, running test number 1. Okay, it looks like it's going to have to run 2 tests. So sometimes when, after it flashes, it doesn't reboot the first time. loading, and pass. And that one was 48 seconds. That's because I had to do a full erase on a board that had already been done. Looks like Unexpected Maker's getting new things every week. No. What new things am I getting every week? All this extrusion's been sitting here for months and months and months, waiting for me to do something. Yeah, well, it does fly out. Watch this. When I open the clamp, or sometimes the board goes flying out like that. So, that looks like a little thumb. A little thumbs up. So, there it is. And so I can just pull out an adapter and put a different adapter in. And I do have a redesign of this that will lock at the back. But I can, basically put this anywhere I want. Because of the way I've constructed the holder, I can even clamp it there. And that's good enough because it's pushing the whole board down into this platform here. And so it never pushes the pogos further than they need to be. How cool is that? You're still in the sliding clamp idea? Hey, Braden. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it took me a couple of goes to get this working. I had to get everything right for being able to hold it, get the tolerances right. Like, it's designed to be loose. I'm missing a screw. That's okay. I've got a screw loose and a screw missing. And yeah, like I said, this was always the plan to do it like this. I don't know how long this will last, but I reckon it'll last a while. And this section here only takes about 20 minutes to print. And it prints upside down and doesn't have any support. This one actually prints with support, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It works as intended. Hey, James. So, anyway, that's my test jig. We should move that back out the way. And I should take that tiny pico, put it back in the box. So, let's talk about Raspberry Pis. Can someone tell me on a Raspberry Pi where it tells you how much RAM it's got? Any idea? Oh, what did I miss in the chat? You need a light right in my face. Yeah. Yeah, the lighting system here is not great for streaming, but, you know, I should not be the focus. Is it high resolution since a few weeks? No, same resolution. It should be. Yeah, this stream should be interesting when you watch me fumble. So I'm just reading back on the chat. Hey, Hybotics. Hey, did you cool things? Almost to evolve to Warrant of E2. No, there's more changes I want to make now. Like, if I was going to do it again, I've actually thought about making a new PCB with a couple of changes to it. But anyway, it's fine. It's working as expected, although I've still got a lot of code to finish writing. Hey, Intimate Tech. Psh, YouTube did not give me notification. Yeah, I only set up the stream about an hour ago. I wasn't going to stream today because I'm sick. Again, still, each chip has a code. So there's no silk screen or something on the board? I'm hoping there's silk screen or something on the board that says 4 megabyte, 8 megabyte, 2 megabytes. Because I have an 8 megabyte board, and I have a couple of 4s and the rest are 2s. And I would like to use my 8 megabyte board for this project, although I don't have to for today. I can just switch the SD card later. But I want to be able to recognize what it is. And I can't find an easy way. Like, I'm quite surprised they don't have a big whopping 8 megabyte on there. Yes, Christopher. 1 gigabyte SC. So I have to look at the actual chip, do I? Oh, is it a serial number? D9ZCL. Where do I find D9ZCL? Or the other one? Is it on the chip? Yep. Okay. Well, I can't see from. Can you? Which chip is it? I'm looking at. That one there. I would assume. Maybe. Let me. Let's look under the microscope. Okay, it's going to be upside down. Yep. It's going to be upside down. Maybe. Oh, so I bought a new clamp. Okay, you can't really see with my camera. I bought a new clamp for. Hang on. Oh, I guess I do have new things. I bought a new clamp for here. Oh, you can't see still. Anyway, for just under the camera. So someone mentioned in my stream last week about the fact that there's a grub screw and I can turn this thing, but that didn't work with the adapter I had. So I've got a new adapter for my camera, so although I have turned it back now, I can now turn it 180 degrees and lock it in place, which I couldn't do before. The problem is, well, let me do it now and then I can show you what the problem is. It's an interesting problem. Assuming I can find the correct... Yes, this is the one. So I can turn this around now, and I can match... See, my other adapter before wouldn't let me do this. I can match the same orientation. Okay? See that? The problem is, when I open the menu is upside down. You can't see it right now, it's under my face and the chat. The menu for the microscope is upside down and back to front because it's rotated. So that's a little bit annoying. You said it looks like it's the 4 megabyte version. Oh, and the other thing I can do with this adapter now, look at this. I can change my focus of the camera without changing my microscope. How cool is that? So I don't even need to use the mouse and that autofocus menu rubbish anymore. I can focus it directly from this adapter. Yay! Progress, folks. So is that a 4, is it, do you reckon? Is it that chip we're looking at, or is it somewhere else? That is a big... Is that a fuse? That looks like a fuse. Maybe not. Who knows? Or a diode. Wow, that's bright. You know, I'm blind. Oh, okay. I just really thought there'd be a big whopping 8 megabytes or 4 megabytes or something on the board. See here. Okay. Hey, Aaron. Good morning. The one next to the CPU. Support. Pi Hut. Open a new window. Okay. Right. Okay. So this one is that a sec 9? So this is just a 2 megabyte. Sec 052. That's weird. That's not on that list. But that's clearly not a... That's a 2 megabytes, right? I'd love to find my 4 megabyte board. Or my 8 megabyte board. Look, it doesn't matter for now. It doesn't matter. We can use this for now. And I can swap it out later. I'm going to turn my computer back around again. That's fine. It's not the 90s. It's gigabytes, not megabytes. Yeah, okay. Well, my brain's not even working today. So there you go. Clearly. Anyone know where I can get some pin headers for Tiny Pico for board-to-board interconnect without having to snip off the extra leads? You mean just 10-pin ones? You can buy 10-pin, like LCSC sell 10-pin headers. But it's easier and cheaper and quicker just to cut some off. How many do you need to do? Dave Paul Jones? Hey, Death Shaker. Okay, we're going to use this one. So, So some of you might remember, this is my... I've got 2 high-quality cameras now. I've got this one, and I've got a new one for a different project. So I've got another one in a box here. So this is my microscope lens, which is not for the optical inspection. This is for, my plan is to make set up another microscope that can be used on my streams that has just HDMI out, it doesn't have the optical one, so it's not attached to my main optical microscope. So that's what this lens is for. And then this one here is dirty. This is for the optical inspection, so this will allow me to, this is a narrow angle lens, not a wide. So the idea is that it'll actually be quite far away from the board, and it'll allow me to capture the board with as little distortion as possible. And I did experiment with this a while ago, but I need a rig to hold it all together. Some of you might remember I built this. I'm just going to let me switch cameras to something that's easier to see. Which lens is which other one? You're talking about this one? There's no... I believe this is from... I can't remember where this is from. I bought it from Core Electronics. I'll bring up the details for it in a moment. This is from Core. Excuse me. Oh, same size up and down on the pin headers. Well, you can move the plastic down. I don't know where you can buy those from. Sorry. They'd have to do it on a sticker. Otherwise, they'd have to make 8. Yeah, that's a good point, Intimate Tech. Right. But I would figure with the number of boards they're making, a custom silk screen for each model wouldn't have been that hard, really. But, okay, sure. Some of you might remember this that I built early on. And this was mounted under here. This is I did this with my, not the high quality camera, but the other one, the V2 camera. So that's why it's got a different mounting thing there. But it wasn't good enough quality. But this thing needs to be really far away, which is what all the extrusion is for. So I think what we should start doing before we even get into any electronics is I need to build some type of frame for it to sit on. Unless you can't find a single reference to a Pi 4 with a SEC 502 lol. Yours must be 64 gig. Yay! Or it could be 640 kilobytes. Okay, so, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have enough extrusion. I don't know, maybe. Do I have enough? I hope so. I hope so. So I've got all different lengths pre-cut. I bought them this way.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
How did that even happen? How did that even happen? So I've been collecting extrusion for a while. I don't have an appropriate drop saw to cut extrusion, and the one that I've got did a bit of a hack job when I tried. And I know I can replace the blade on it to get something that can cut extrusion better, but I don't even have, like, it's in my garage, in the shed at the moment. I don't even have a place to put it. So it was easy for me just to pre-buy cut lengths based on what I needed. Hey Alan, good morning. And now that I've filled my desk, yeah, okay, well, so I have a plan. I do have a plan, which I've not drawn or sketched out. My first plan is to take all this extrusion back off the desk, because that was really stupid, me putting it on here. God, it's noisy. Sorry. Okay, let's put it on the floor for the moment. Now, I'm going to use these things that I bought. I've got a whole assortment of stuff that I got ready for this project. So I bought a stack of these 3-way connectors that should allow me to assemble everything nice and easily and keep things quite square, rather than using these and having to straighten them. Right? Whole bunch of grubs. I've got everything hopefully I need in here to do all this. And it's going to be a weird shape, of course, because it has to sit tall. I have a box that looks just like that. Well, that's my box. You can't. It's not yours. I didn't steal it. It wasn't me. Don't blame me. Hey, Dave Darko. Did I deafen everyone that was wearing headphones? I'm sorry. That's the thing, right? I didn't want to do that, Digicool. Like, I didn't want to buy long lengths and then have to sit there and cut them all up and then clean the edges, deburr the edges and everything. Like, I just... Yeah. And because I knew that I wasn't going to get onto the project straight away, it was easy for me to just buy all the lengths I needed, what I think I needed. Nothing better than a 3-way Photochromax. And I had plenty of time for it to arrive. So, yeah. So, the plan is... It's going to be really hard for me to assemble this. But it's going to be this tall. It has to actually be this tall. Right? Which is insane. And it's going to be quite small at the bottom. I'm really worried about how well it's going to balance. And it's going to be only this long. And you're going to ask me how long this is, and I can't remember. Is it 300? Do I have a ruler? I should get my ruler. Or are they... I think it's 300 and 200. I didn't want to either, but longer lengths were much more cost effective. They are, yes. But, yeah, so that's 300. And these are 200. There's no way I could have got such a nice finish on them and stuff. Like, yeah, it's fine. Right, so... The plan is that it's going to be this size. So that wide, this long, and this, lost it from the camera view, and this tall. Which is a really awkward shape, and I don't even know where it's going to live. But the idea is that that there'll be, let me just let me get, where is it? Where'd I put it? Now I'd like this to actually have some smarts, but maybe not, right? It's like I'm playing with Lego and I have no idea what I'm doing. I got myself a 2020 so a 2020 V-wheel thing, and the idea is that it'll just be manual for now, that I'll be able to... It doesn't really even need this, right? But I figured that I could stick a PCB on and push it into place, into the center. There'll be like a marker here that locks it in place. So that way I don't have to try to center it inside. And the camera will be sitting all the way up top here, right? And there'll be another frame about halfway up that'll have a whole bunch of RGB LEDs on there. I also 3D printed all of my 2020 connectors. Nice corner blocks. Yeah, I could have done that, but I just bought kits of stuff. I want to do other stuff with all extrusion maybe one day. They do, Simple Electronics, hello. Like, I love having all this extrusion. I would love it even more if I did something useful with it, which is my plan. But, you know me, plans, what are they? The ruler built into my desk mat is not actually... Oh, this one here is okay. This one here is not even... it's imperial. Anyway, okay, we'll get to that another time. So I should just put this together. Now, did I show everyone my camera? Has everyone ever seen my new camera rig? Maybe not. Can everyone see this? Oh, look at that. There's my desk. There's outside. It's dark. Look at this. Has everyone seen this? Did I show you? I can't remember. Look at this, everyone. And my camera gets moved away. Yay! And I can work on my desk. Yay! How cool is that? I need to make sure you don't see the mess on my desk though. No, this is a new view. New view. Okay, so we should I should start putting this together. I just want to get the basic frame in. It's going to require a bunch of 3D printing to be able to mount the camera. And that's probably not going to happen today. Maybe we'll get to design something, but I won't get to print something. And I need to find the right... Good, I've got the right one. So, I'm sorry if people find this boring. What I like about these connectors is that, they use grub screws. So there's nothing protruding. And they give a really square, locked-in finish. Lab feels like home to you. Well, it feels like mess to me. Shocking state. Okay. So we end up with a really nice corner here. I really like these things. Okay, so that's one. Now the other thing I would have loved to do with this at some stage is, well, let me build it first and then I'll show you. But as I said, I really don't know anything about designing mechanical stuff. I am no Ivan Miranda, or I guess there's lots of people that build stuff. I should put this one on first. I'm not Ivan Miranda. I can't just blink and suddenly have a massive CNC machine built in front of me. But that's okay. I guess I will learn at some point, right? Johnny's a mechanical engineer. Well, Johnny, you want to come over here? Oh, you can't. Lockdown. So we're in lockdown again, everyone. Where's Mike? I want to blame Mike. Thanks to all the Sydney folks, we're in lockdown again. And it just got extended another week. Yay. Yay, all because Sydney won't take this pandemic thing seriously. Yeah, we're in lowdown. It's all Brian's fault. Now, I haven't really thought about the best way to... I should actually build... I shouldn't be building the way I am right now. What I should be doing is doing them in squares, right? And then attach the squares together. That would make a lot more sense. Don't you think? Like this? Yeah. Yeah, much better. Hey, Bruce. You've got a new name, a new icon, a new... What's going on? It's make a Lego. Build it however my heart tells me. I'd like to build it in a way that doesn't require me to rebuild it, though. I mean, I know that's going to happen, right? But... So, I'd like to put an adjustable Z height on this thing. As in, a motorized Z height. And I know that... I think I know a couple of the parts I might need. But, you know... I sit on AliExpress looking at all of the different bits and pieces I can get, right? Linear rails and lead screw, this and that, and blah blah blah, and I'm lost. I'm totally lost at all the things I need, right? Or the things that I should get, or how they all really work together. I don't know. Now that's, what have I done? Oh right, that's right. Okay. I wasn't sure if it made any sense to try to do this on a stream, but it definitely doesn't make any sense for me to try to do this on a video. So, hello, Mike JM79. It's all out on my driveway. What's on my driveway? What have I done? What did I do? I should take the rest of the extrusion off the table so I can center this more. I don't know where this is going to live either. And the truth is, I don't even know if I can ever get this with the Raspberry Pi, if I can ever get it fast enough to be faster than me just viewing it myself. Oh, yeah, the Charm High's gone. Well, Charm High, I think it might still be in Melbourne though. I don't think Keen's had a chance to move it to Sydney, because in and out of lockdown all the time. Yeah, no, not taking any parts out of the Charm High. That has stayed intact and has going to a good home to someone that should be able to make use of it and potentially even get it working. At least get it working for them, because they don't do 0402 and all sorts of stuff, right? So the bigger components weren't so much of a problem. It just couldn't do the small stuff. Right, yes, working condition where the working is on whoever's got it. It's in working condition. I mean, Keen's going to have to work out what to do with feeders. I gave him all of the feeders, but they're obviously, they're terrible. So, you know. No, Keen's not normally on the live streams. And Keen's super busy. What am I missing? This side. I'll have to stand up for this one. Yeah. Keen's a bit like me. Bit of an overworker. Okay, have I got all of the bits? I think so. I might have missed some. Okay. So we have one side. Put that on the floor. Wait, that's not right. Is that right? No. Hang on. 200. No. One of these is not where it's supposed to be. Damn. Okay, it's supposed to be a 300. Lucky I caught that. Hey John, I'm just playing with extrusion at the moment. Okay, anyway, you know I'm going to be short like one piece or something. That's always the way, right? Right. Might as well put that in first. Screw that in first. Do you know it's very hard to find long grub screws or set screws? Locally, that is. I mean, everything, sure, in China, but like when you need something in a hurry, very hard to find. I thought I'd mention that. Something totally unrelated. Okay. The other thing I like about these is they have a nice flat, clean finish, right? For sitting down on the table. Like they're not going to scratch or anything. Okay, so is that true? Is what true? You can't mod a mod. I'm the Uber mod. No, I'm the not mod at all. Look at me, I'm not even paying attention. Excuse me. Oh, I think my nose is going to run all over my face in a moment. I don't get to a tissue soon. Okay. We are close to having a box. Wow, how exciting. Not really. Okay. Hope I don't run out of grub screws. Why are they called grub screws? Anyone know? They don't look very grubby. Hey Sebastian, you're making an AI machine, but what software are you going to use? I'm going to write my own. My plan is to write my own. And this is really a learning exercise more than anything else. It's an opportunity to play with some mechanical stuff and to play with OpenCV. And there's no automatic. There's no A in this, Sebastian. There's no automatic because I can't really get this into... This won't work with my production line. And I'm not really going to try to do that. You know, this will sit in my work area in here with me, where I can just stick a PCB on it, and maybe I'll be able to get it to tell me which parts are good and bad. But the truth is, this is going to take so much training that I don't think this is going to be worthwhile. Hello, Ian. Walking the mutt. Shouldn't talk about your kids like that. No. Okay, that wasn't even funny. How you doing, Ian? And hello to anyone else that I've missed. Automated Optical Inspection. Yes, that's what AOE stands for. Or, yeah. YouTube should separate chat mod, role, and channel mods. They should, but they don't. Which is why a lot of us YouTubers did a bit of a cleanup. A headless set screw can be said to resemble bug larvae. Right. Little grubbies. But like the word grub. Oh, hey! SDG Electronics. Hope you wore a hazmat suit. When you went walking outside to do the dog, what does he need a hazmat suit for the dog? Walking in mud. Okay, now. Wow. That one is the wrong length. Right, we need to get further out. Look at this. Yay. Articulated arm for the win. So that's just a webcam, by the way, on an IKEA lamp arm that I've butchered and repurposed. Okay, so I feel like I'm building a fish tank or something. Okay, this is the size of it, but this is on its side. Sorry, I'm just trying to read the chat. You exactly said it right before I was going to type an aquarium. Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't work as an inspection system, I can build a really bad aquarium out of it. Or not. But this is big. And look, it might not need to be this high, but it's much easier to lower the camera than it is to build it too short and raise the camera. No, it'll just be top down. Look, I could make this project super complicated, but the idea is I want to see how far I can take it with just a single camera, single high-res camera with one orientation. Okay, so this is the height of it. Let me just switch cameras. That's not going to work. Maybe if I rotate. There we go. So this is how tall it is. Like that's actually really rigid. Wow. I did not think. No, I'll explain what I want to do in a moment with the camera. What idea I've got. What are the dimensions? So this is 600 high, 300 long, plus the 20s, right? I mean, so that's 340 by 240, and this is 600 plus the height of the ends of here. So like, I don't know, 620, 610 or something. And so the camera will sit up here, and as I said before, there'll be the PCB will sit down here maybe on this or maybe not. I haven't decided how this will work. The reason I kept it longer here and I've got something like this is potentially I could make it come in and out. I could do a conveyor here eventually, maybe, right? But the idea is that the PCB, let me grab the PCB, that'll do. So grab a PCB of Tiny Pico USB-Cs, that will sit there, right? And the camera will be all the way up here. Let's get this other way. All the way up here. And so the further away I get it, with it zoomed in, the straighter the picture, right? The less distortion I get. If I was down here with a wide angle, I'd get, the image would be completely distorted and fish-eyed, right? So I need to be quite high for it. Now, will I need to blank out the sides and stuff? I don't know, maybe. But the idea is, what I would love to do, but I couldn't find anything long enough. I would love to put down the side here, like a lead screw based system that allows me to have a Z control, right? Where I could raise and lower the camera with a fixed height for the PCB. And that would allow the camera optically, because I got different board sizes, right? So if you look at that board, and then you look at a board of nanos, the nanos are much smaller. right? And then if I look at something like my Tiny Pico USB-C, they're much longer than the Micro B, the boards. Might be a bit hard for you to see that. So I need it, ideally, I could do it manually for now, but ideally I'd like it to have, I don't need X and Y, I just need Z. Eventually maybe X, I don't know, but Z. So the idea is the camera could take photos and it could keep moving down till it can frame the PCB into the maximum of an X or a Y, right? Need a COSL design. I do not know what that is. A Delta 3D printer, sure, and I actually looked at buying a pre-designed 3D printer frame. Well, a Delta really won't do what I need because it won't have the structure I need. It might have the XYZ ability, but not the shape that I need. What? Who's going to run what live on YouTube? Do you want me to ask her? Can everyone turn off their Alexas? Can everyone turn that off? Alexa, what is a COSL design?
Here's something I found on the web. According to wikipedia.org, a causal system is a system with output and internal states that depends only on the current and previous input values. By the way, I can learn your voice to improve your Alexa experience.
No thanks.
Would you like to try it?
Bye. No thanks. Okay, well, I'm not quite sure that gave me the answer I was looking for. Okay, let me just take this out. Okay, let me explain what I want to do with the camera, what my plan is, and why it may or may not work. So, and my coffee is cold, and I'm going to need another one, and my office is freezing, and I need to put the heater on. A few different boards. No, I have lots of different size boards. I just showed you 3 out of many different sizes, and I'll have many more coming in. So no. Having Z is, even if it's manual Z movement, the fact is, if I have to move Z, well, I'm looking over there, sorry, I need to move my chat window. If I have to move the Z anyway, making it automatic is not hard to do, right? Hey, Deshipu. Really? You guys are that warm over there right now? Oh, it is cold. It is really cold. I'm also trying to not make my office a sauna because I'm sick. And it just incubates, makes it even worse. Come to the UK. Okay, we can swap. Sure. It might warm up. It was thunderstorms and raining, and it was like torrential yesterday. I had flooding outside my office. It was pretty bad. Look at my Prusa Common X. Yes, but not tall enough. So I want to do something like that, but I need 4 points. Right? It needs to support 4 points. Because it needs to be perfectly flat. Anyway, but I couldn't find any stepper lead screw systems that were long enough for what I need. Unless it was mounted halfway up, which, again, we can get to that. So my idea with the maybe I should draw it. I haven't done a sketch and a drawing for a long time on a stream. Maybe I should do that. If only I could find a pen and paper. Okay. Pen I can get. No worries. Except, where's some paper? Okay. So, I've given most of my notebooks to Flynn. Right, I need to now grab my camera, a DSLR, and pull it back out. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Oh, no, that's reversed. And that is way too bright. And it's not focusing. Come on, focus on my pen, Saul. Focus. Focus, focus. Okay, yes. No rain in Scotland. So, the plan is, if I look at something like this PCB, that is still... Okay, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. That contrast on the white is insane. Maybe I should use a black piece of paper. So, I've only got the single camera, right, that has to look down to do everything. So, the first step is to get the... Actually, I might do that. Is to get the board framed into the square, right? So get it, whatever the longest length is, to get that into... Oh, you can't see my pencil. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to go darker. That's fine. So you can't see what's on here. So get it so it's centered in a square, right? And have it do what it needs to do. And then with OpenCV, what it can do distortion correction. So if there is any type of bowing, right, on the corners, like this, right, it can fix it, whichever way it goes, right? And make it as straight as possible. That's the first step. Then it needs to know what board it's doing, right? So I'll have my plan is to just have a Tiny Pico USB-C, Tiny Pico Micro B, Feather S2, Tiny S2, like a profile that I say this is what your board is, and it loads all the data in, right? And it'll know that there are a 5x4 boards on the panel. It'll know where all the parts are just based on a pick and place file for one board, and it'll know where the fiducials are. So if I get a board that doesn't have anything on it, right? So you can see here, so every board has got, there's a fiducial here and a fiducial here. I'm not using edge rail fiducials, you can't see that, it's not, there we go. So for pick and placing now, I'm not using the edge rails. There's a fiducial here and a fiducial here, but that fiducial's covered, but it's the center of the antenna, right? Use a QR code for this. Well, there's no place to stick a QR code. And it's not really necessary to use a QR code, but okay, sure. I could automate that part, right? So it knows where all the parts are on every board. And so it should be able to map out a square, like a bounding box around every board on the panel, right? All 20 of them. And then it'll know where to look inside each one for each particular part. Now, for a single top-down image in color, it's really not going to probably give me enough information. So my plan is, and this is a technique that we used to use in the visual effects industry, but obviously not for real life stuff, but we used to use it for rendering, is I'm going to have a lighting rig around the outside, somewhere, I don't know how high up it's going to be on the actual thing, where I'm going to have a NeoPixel strip on this side, this side, this side, and this side. And it might be one strip, or it might be just 4 individual strips, right? And the idea is that I'm going to take 4 photographs. I'm going to take one photograph where it's all of them are lit up white. Actually, I might do 5 photographs. I don't know. And then I'm going to do 3 photographs where this side here is red and nothing else is lit up. Then this side here is blue, nothing else is lit up. And this side here is green with nothing else. So I'm going to get a green lit from this way, blue lit from this way, red lit from this way. And then a solid one of all color, right? What that'll give me is lighting from 3 different angles that I can then use the red, green and blue channel of the red. So if I take an image that's photographed with red light and then only take the red channel in OpenCV or in Photoshop, whatever else, and look at it, you only see the red, which everything else disappears. And if I blend those 3 colors together, what I get is a fake 3D depth. Does that make sense? So with normal lighting, you get no depth. How close can I get on one of this? Right. If I was to look at this cap right here, okay, for a single photo of this with white light, I get no depth. What I get is a 2D image that I can compare, okay, but I can't really see much about it. And also, it's going to be quite small. Bitloony streaming tomorrow. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've looked at a few articles from the past. Hey Planet 886. But using the angled color and separating out the channels and then blending them back together, what I will get is definition around the outside edges of the cap that I wouldn't get from a single color. So the downside to that is taking a high-res photo on the Raspberry Pi is not fast. Like, we're talking about a few seconds for a photo. Then we're talking about 4 photos or 5 photos is 10, 12 seconds. I don't know, right? I mean, it sounds like not a long period of time, but it actually is. And then it's got to process it. Now, here's the problem with doing optical inspection, at least with machine learning like I'm going to be doing. I have to train every single part on a board, good parts and bad parts, right? So let's say the software is let's pretend there's only one board, right? The software has to know where every single part is on the board, and it has to be able to draw a bounding box around every single part. Hey crazy boy, has to draw a bounding box around every part. So let's say there's a cap here, right? It needs to know where this cap is. Down again, right? So you'll be able to draw a bounding box around the cap based on, it knows its XY position and it knows how big the cap is. It's an 0603 cap, right? How about a stereo camera head for direct 3D capture? Because a 3D capture doesn't, for a dual stereo 3D capture, it gives you only 3D on one plane. That would be fine if I had a strip, but I need 3D everywhere, not distortion. Like, I can't have the angle of 3D on this chip to be totally different to the angle of this chip. They all have to be perfectly square front down, right? They have to be, every part has to be non-distorted in its angle. Right, I technically don't have to teach this model good and bad, just good. Well, yes, just good, but that's still the same, right? So I have to go, so it'll have to go through, highlight every part, and then show it to me in whatever way I blend it together. And I'll have to sit there for however long, days, weeks, whatever, going through all the images and training it. Like, is this part good? Yes. Well, okay, it doesn't need a no, but it does need a no, because it's going to ask me on each one, good or not. If I say good, great. If I don't say good, that's a no, right? I only have to train it on the good, but I have to skip the ones that aren't good. And so if I get any of them wrong, I'm teaching it with bad data. The good news is, if I can highlight the part clearly with OpenCV, then I don't have to train. There's no difference between training this part here. God, the lighting is just terrible. There's no difference between this cap and this cap. If I can get the bounding area around them close enough that they look identical, right? A lot of my parts are really close, you know. I don't know how much I'll be able to save time on that. Yeah, I don't want to move the camera around. That takes too long. Then I have to move, photograph, move, photograph, move, photograph, move, photograph, move. Yeah, that's. I'm trying to do this, all of this. Okay, sorry, folks. It's the usual thing. I'm not looking for other solutions. There are so many ways to skin this cat. I do not want a moving camera. I do not want a 3D camera. I'm designing this to work with a single stationary camera. Okay? So any other suggestions you come up with, thank you. I'm not interested. No offense. I'm not looking at those solutions, right? I could reinvent this 100 times in 100 different ways with cameras all the way around the sides and moving cameras and this and that, and they're all way too complex for what I'm trying to do. Single camera. Hey, Dustin. Single camera, fixed X, Y, possibly Z movement, only for framing, and that's it, right? Everything else I want to solve in software. And if I can't solve it in software, then this iteration of the design is a fail. But solving it in software is way quicker and easier than trying to design complex hardware, right? Like moving cameras and positioning the camera and focusing on a particular board and everything else to get exactly perfect, identical distortion between every single board, that's a huge amount of work. Right, the more I teach it, the better it'll get. But that itself is going to be a lot of work. So that's the plan. Now, I don't know if the color stuff is going to be good enough. But as you can see right now, like if I light everything evenly, this is not lit evenly, right? The light's coming from the back here. So you can see, like on this, the CP204, you can see those pins there are lit up. These ones here are lit up, but these ones here and here are not lit up. That's because there's no light source coming from there. Now, if I have an even set of light, I might get all of the pins lit up, but what I also lose is any depth, right, in the image, which is why I'm going to go for the different angled colors. Can you create an entire board mask based only on allow vision where the courtyard of the part is? Well, absolutely. Well, the software can do that. That's the point. If the software knows I'm working on this board and I'm currently looking at this part, and it knows that it's an 0603 part and it knows its size and a bit of extra buffer for the pads, right? Well, it knows the bounding area of the pads from the Eagle file or whichever file, right? I've got all the data I need, even from the Gerbers. I could load in the Gerbers for this particular board and use that data as well. Well, that's a lot of extra software work, right? It knows that. It can isolate that part, no problem. But isolating the part is just the first step. But if I have too much distortion between this part here and this part here, then teaching them good is a problem, because if there's distortion in the image, it's going to completely wreck the ability for it to recognize the part correctly. Are you blocking up the majority of the sides of the frame? Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to have to do that. I mentioned that before. I'm going to have to potentially block light on the sides. I don't know how far down. I don't know how low the lighting will have to be. I'm not looking at having, I know that NeoPixels, whatever you want to call them, are not super bright. This doesn't have to be bright because I'm just extracting the color channel, right? Hey Mike, have you tried Agnos PCB service? I have no idea who they are. Distortion can be corrected in software, yes, to a point. But the more distortion correction I do, the more it's affecting the image, right? And it makes it harder to find things, for instance, like a bad solder joint. So like a good example really is, you look at this the same cap right now, you can see that on the right hand side of the cap there's a black line and then there's the pad. Can you see that? I can actually, I can get kind of closer, but I don't want to wreck this, right? Excuse me. So that line that's down there is a problem, because that line, even though that I know that cap there is good, that line there would look very similar to if that cap was tombstoned slightly, where the left hand side was soldered and the right hand side the cap was lifted up slightly and it was sitting on the solder but not actually soldered. Does that make sense? Oh, was that link? Was that guy's write-up he did years ago? Bruce and Mike? Yeah, there was a link. Oh, has a fruit. Oh, no, that's that software. Right. Okay. I can look it up. Let me look it up again. Was it Agnos? Oh, Agnos. Right. That new. Right. Okay. Yep. So this one. Yeah, I've got this bookmarked. Right. I just forgot what it was called. Right. This is doing, I guess, a similar type thing, right? Can't you use crosses, white lines between boards? Hey, Agim. Crosses and white line. How would I use white lines between boards? Like, there is no white lines on the boards. I can't put anything on the PCB. Like, the PCB has to go in as it is. I'm making a C on helper. Yeah. I don't think I can get this as fast as I can do it myself under the microscope. But doing it myself under the microscope is quite fatiguing. Just show the PCB again. Okay, hang on. Okay, here's the PCB. Once I've got an image of the PCB, I can do whatever I need to the image. Like, if I'm looking at that board, it doesn't matter if there's anything else around it, because OpenCV will it'll know where this board is. It'll know where this board is based on the data that I give it. It'll know that there is a 5x4 panel. It'll know where it is in the image. Like, if my software is right, it'll be able to isolate every board and every part on every board. No problem. That's the easy bit. Right, that's easy. Okay? It'll know how long and how wide this panel is. It'll know the edge rails are 5mm, blah, blah, blah. It'll be able to chop this image up into individual boards. That part's easy. Right, those white lines are actually V-score, and they change based on whatever JLC PCB do on any particular day. If they do a good V-score or a bad V-score. I can't rely on that. I don't need to rely on that. Have you tried just to look at the PCB with coloured light as you described it? I mean, if it then becomes easier for you to tell if it's good. I've used this technique before. Like, the reason I want to do this on here is it's a technique I used to use in the visual effects industry. Hey, Kyle K. And not every panel is going to have V-scores, for instance. Right? Like my nanos don't have any V-score at all. Right? They're all mouse bites. So there's nothing I could do on that. But again, it doesn't matter. I have this layout. I know the size. I know where everything is. The software can work this out. It can use the fiducials on the edge rail. It can do corner detection, right? Assume, as long as I don't put this on a black background, right? If this is on a white background, OpenCV can do everything. It can do the box detection. It can do size detection. It can show me where. It can map this out, no problem. There's a whole, like, OpenCV is really comprehensive. That stuff I don't think is going to be a problem. The question's going to be, will the image be high res enough to take all of this? If you look at how small these parts are, you can't even see them, right? will there be enough data for each part to accurately be able to tell if the part's good or bad? That's what I don't know. And I won't know until I can get the perfect height and size ratio of camera to PCB to tell me if I'm going to get enough resolution from this high quality camera. I suppose the difficult part will be what tolerance you allow to be passed. Essentially, anything you get through that's not quite right teaches the model bad habits. Sure, but this is a guide for me, right? My worst case scenario for this is I put a board in, and it goes blah 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 blah, and it does. So let's say, I don't know. Here's a. Okay, I drew that wrong. Whatever. Let's say there's 9. No, I can't count. Let's say there's 9 boards on the panel. Wow. Let's say there's 9 boards on the panel. I put it in. My worst case scenario is it goes, I think that's good. I think it's good. I think there's a problem here. I think there's a problem here. Good, 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 good. Right? I don't know which part. I think there's a problem. Right? And then I can grab the board and go under the microscope. Did the ESP32 2.0 RC1 already come up? No, it didn't. When did that come out, by the way? Because they're still making fixes for me as of last night. I was chatting with them. They're finally fixing the CDC issue with the ESP32S2 this afternoon, which means it only happened while I was asleep. Right, okay, cool. No, I'm not doing flying probe testers. Right, this is my worst case scenario, right? That I get something as fairly useless as this. And my best case scenario is good, over here, right? This cap, C1 I think's got a problem. D4 I think's got a problem, right? And it actually tells me which parts on that particular board. But I still have to then take the board under a microscope to fix them. And that's why I'm not sure this is going to be, how useful this is going to be for me. But where it's going to be really useful for me is in learning, right? So if I get nothing else out of this other than a good understanding of OpenCV, get to play with some machine learning, get to build some mechanical stuff, then great. Like that's why I make stuff, to learn. Yeah, basically like that, Aaron. Right. It'll give me a guide as to where there may or may not be an issue. So anyway, that's the plan. Let me switch cameras again. Excuse me. That's what I want to do with the vision side. And I can do all of that on my computer, right? Once I've got one photograph, I can write all the code on my computer. Like, I don't have to do it on the Raspberry Pi or anything else. I could even potentially hook this into iBomb, right? Which will then show me the parts on the board. Like, give me a whatever. I don't know. And I have so much time to play with stuff now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's why this has been sitting there for so long. So long. And why I have cold coffee. I'll have to train it with a lot of samples. Yes, Photochromax. It's what I want to spend my time doing, but I don't. I can't even begin to tell you where I'm at with my time right now. I'm. Yeah. Okay, so. Let's move this around a bit. Oh. So I need to. Right now, I'm probably just going to do something fixed. I don't know what height I need. So what I basically need to do is get the camera hooked up to the Pi and working, and I need to kind of hold it at certain heights to see where the ideal position is, right? I don't know where it's going to be. I did some measurements early on, but I had to do it sideways on the desk because I couldn't hold it still and measure it, right? Like any little bit of movement here makes the image blurry. What? Yeah, both hardware and software is definitely doable. Jack McMack, absolutely. Which is what I'm keeping it simple. Will it be too simple? Probably. So, yeah, this is my next step, is to work out how high, so I can then put a frame in for the camera, right? I can always temporarily lower and raise this just with some standoffs, right? But get a frame in here and then 3D print something that can mount the camera to there. So I think what we should do now is, let's boot up the Pi, plug the camera in, boot up the Pi. Now, I need a few things. Let's just go to the other camera again. Okay, so I've got a power. Is it off or is it on? It's off. Good. Okay, and I've got really long camera lead, and God, which direction does the camera plug in? Is it this way? Is it blue tab out? I can't see. Are the connectors on the white bit or on the black bit? It doesn't matter, because once the camera will be, once it's in place, it doesn't matter. It'll be locked in that height for all of those boards. I'm not going to be running 3 or 4 different boards in at the same time. I'll be running one type of board. I do a production run, I might build 20 panels of tiny Picos, right, USB-C, and I'll run all 20 panels through at the same time. So the connector's on white. Okay, thank you. I should move that camera a bit closer again. Okay. Ooh, that's better. Okay, so camera is in there. Pi. Now, I should be able to, although it might be way too high resolution. I should be able to plug HDMI into here and HDMI into my ATEM Mini without spilling what's left of my coffee. Okay, I should be able to turn this on and boot it. This has got the latest Raspbian with the desktop, and I should get HDMI out onto my stream so you can see my desktop. Now, I don't have a keyboard. That's going to be a problem. Well, I have a keyboard, I lied. I have a keyboard over here. Right. I mean, I could remote to it, but then I can't do it on the desktop. I'm gonna zap myself. Don't like touching these things when they're on. Okay, I've got a keyboard and I need a mouse. I'll use my Raspberry Pi mouse. My official Raspberry Pi mouse. How weird is this? Honestly. Okay, so I don't have a mouse pad. What? It means I can do what? Cheap, cheerful, but functional. What are we talking about? Oh, do like downward boom arm with camera mounted on the end for now. Use clamp to clamp it to a gantry on top. I don't have a on top. I don't want to mount. Yeah. I want this to be clear space all the time. Like move stuff in and out. That's why I've got this new articulated arm for my DSLR. So, do I have... Look at this! Yay! So I have a Raspberry Pi desktop. This is the Pi I just plugged in. Right, except I need to move that, so I better duplicate this. I'm going to call this, what did I call it? It's the PCB Optical Inspection Rig. POIR. Is that the worst name ever? POIR. Okay, so now I can scale this down. Oops. To hopefully fit it all, but it's 1080p. Okay, let's just do this, and I'll try to keep everything to the side. So do I have a mouse? I do. Okay. Does the keyboard work? Ooh, maybe. Can I make this font bigger? Anyone know if I can make the font bigger in Terminal? I can do a zoom in. Shift Control plus plus. Shift Control plus. Okay. Yay. Plork. So I just want to make this smaller again now. Now I wonder if I can get... I was playing around with my HDMI stuff here. I wonder if I can get it to capture my... Oh wow, okay. Anyone know what the camera will be listed as? My directly read the CSO frames. There is code. Raspberry. Yeah, Raspberry Raw. I think that's pretty slow though, isn't it? Is it dash? Can't spell. Raspberry Raw. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of... No, that's not it. What is it? There's a whole bunch of commands. As fast as it gets. Do I have to apt install it? Apt get it? Raspberry Raw. Yeah, oh, right. Raspberry still. Yeah, shouldn't. Just do it. I have to build it for that camera. No, come on, I shouldn't have to do that. Okay, I'm just looking on the internet over here. I've captured off the high quality camera before on a different Pi without having to install anything. How to capture HQ camera Raspberry. We can build anything. Yes, we can. Yeah, I don't need to know how to install it. I need to know how to oh, right, I have to enable the camera. It might not be enabled. That's interesting. So we don't need to go to, is it preferences? Connected in the Raspberry menu, select preferences, and then Raspberry Pi configuration. I don't know if the camera is turned on. Interfaces, camera. Enable. Okay. Change made, but rebooted. Oh, we'd like to reboot now. Sure. Hey, Eric. How you doing, mate? Build all the things. This may help. Yeah, I'm at the I've got different docs open now. Must be still. Okay, so let it reboot. For finding bad placement of parts, can fractal geometry or holographic fingerprints help? I have no idea what they are. Wagon loads. Okay, so that was pretty quick. Will that remember my last settings of my terminal? No. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so apparently I can type in rasp, oh god, steel -o test.jpg, but I don't want to write the file. See, like this. I don't want to. Oh, this shows me a preview. Okay. Oh. See how long it took? Oh, that's right. It's got that timer on it. But okay, I'm gonna hold this camera up and try that again. But I remember my test with this. It was really slow. See, I don't. Yeah. I want to be able to get a feed all the time. I need to, so this is where it gets interesting. I need to know what the focal length is. I'm just going to use a bit of extrusion if I can to see. What can I put on the other side? I don't know if that's going to work. Let's try that again. You see what you see? There we go. Okay. Thanks, Jerry. I'm actually on the way down again. I'm getting sick again. Yeah. So that's the problem. You see how long that takes? You can definitely make it quicker. I have made it quicker before. Right. There's a default of 5 seconds, but I can add a wrong keyboard. I can do this. I can go -t. I think it's in milliseconds. I can go like 200 milliseconds. See that? I can make it faster. I just don't know if that degrades the image or not. The answer to speeding up image taking in this thread seems interesting. So this thread here, take a picture in 0.02 seconds with Pi camera. You need a frame rate greater than equal to, yeah. So this is what I want to do. I want to see for now if I can take video. Like I want to be able to see live rather than an image. That's what I meant by the M-Player stuff before, right? I want to, like, does anyone know what the camera is? Like, I should be able to do M-Player like this with /dev/something to tell it to show me a video feed from the camera. Oh, here we go. Right, I can just use video 0. So this is now M-Player. So this is live. You see this? I know it's not high res. And it's quite dark because it's not... Right, but this should give me the ability to play around with the distance and... Right, here we go. Right? Like I should be able to play around with the exposure and the focal point. You see this? On the camera. Right, okay, or Raspberry Vid. I'm just using M-Player right now. Has anyone got breakups? Are you breaking up with me? How much bigger I can get this? God. Oh, did I just do what I think I just did? I took it off the top of this. How do I, How do I get to... Okay, good. Let's try that again without dragging the window so high that I can't move it. Alt-click. Right, so as you can see, there's quite a lot... right, the more in focus... The more in focus I give it, like the more I open the aperture, so that the more I open the aperture, the less, like, look at the like the depth of field, right? So then it would be a matter of getting it exactly perfect, and the amount that I have to play with is so small. Oh, that's really cool, Shipper. I didn't know that. So this is why I need to mount the camera and then play with the optimal settings, right? Because the lower I go, the more distortion there's going to be. And I'm also at the maximum of how much I can focus, right? But up here, the higher I go, see, I've got the ability to focus more. So if I just put a board of nanos down, okay, you look how high my hands are. My hand is, right? Yeah, see, I don't even know. So, like, how high is that? That's got to be at least 650, I'd say, or 700, roughly. If I how long is this? Right, it's got to be at least 50 centimeters. Excuse me. Okay, right, that's what this is. This is the zoom lens. So I need to mount as far away as I can, and then zoom in as far as I can, but this is it. This is as far. So I see I can't hold it still. That's why I need the frame to do this. Right, I need as much light as I can get. But now my focus window is tiny. Like, it really is. Which is why I need a height adjustment. Right. Maybe still idea, but have you considered using some old flats? I have, but that won't work. I can't flat scan a Feather S2. I can't flat scan a Feather S2 that's got JST connectors on it in different heights. Yeah. I've looked at all of those as options. I looked at getting a high-res flatbed scanner and pulling it apart. Catch you later, James. Have a good sleep. But it's not really an option when you've got different heights on the boards. Like the USB connector alone on it makes things out of focus. Look at the book scanner. I've looked at those. They're not high res enough. I almost bought a couple off AliExpress. They're not high res enough, and they don't give me, and their distorter's still too much. I'm going with this as an option. This is it. This is what I'm going to work on for now. This gives me the ability to swap out different cameras if I want to and try some other things. Right. As I said before, thanks for the suggestions. This is what I'm going with for now. Right. I'm going to implement this and work on the software for this rather than use anything else for the time being. So now they've got everything in the way. I need to build a frame for the camera to sit on that can be lifted higher and lower, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Like my original plan was two of these, not that one. Still got plastic on it. No, wrong length. So many different lengths. Nope. Have I run out? Did I not get enough? Guess I can always cut some. So my plan was to have there and there, and then a 3D print that would mount to it. But maybe what I need to do is build another frame that can go up and down. But I don't know how mechanically, I'm not sure how that would attach to this and work. How much Z movement? I don't know. I might need a lot of Z movement. I don't know yet. It doesn't have to be automatic. It doesn't have to be excuse me, done through steppers right now, but it still needs to be manually movable. I don't know what I can attach to this, you know, other than get a whole bunch of these V-wheel type things, right? I mean, I know I could get linear rails, but then I need to put square extrusion in, not these T extrusion, and I need to be able to lock it at a certain height. So this is where my lack of mechanical expertise comes into play. You need to consult a mechanical engineer. I do, yes. Yes, I do. Do you know anyone, Johnny? Yeah, not really what I'm looking for. No, I don't want something like this, because that's impossible to get the camera straight. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say impossible, but the up and down, like, and all the different articulated places, I'll never get perfectly straight camera. No, I can't just use a CR10. I can't use a printer frame. I looked at that to start with. I need something more complex than a printer frame. I'm not talking about the movement capabilities. I'm talking about the actual frame. It has to be a box. It can't be an arch with a bed, right? I need to be able to mount stuff around it and whatever. Just add it to the frame you have. Oh, right. But then it's not a CR10. I don't want to put a CR10 frame inside my frame. Get it perfectly vertical. Yeah. Right, but there's also no way to easily mount this camera like that. This camera has to be mounted from the top. I'd have to build something here that mounts to this, that then mounts to this, to go up and down, that isn't in the way of the camera, that then can go up and down, and then somehow that thing has to be centered exactly inside the frame. I get what you're saying. Hey, Mike, I think that what I'm looking for instead is like the bed of a laser cutter that goes up and down, right? That I want a bed that I can adjust. I don't want a single point. I want to be able to grab that camera and move it anywhere on the bed, on the Z and on the X and Y, and have the whole bed go up and down like a 3D printed bracket. No. Hang on. Let me just Let's see if I can find something that I'm talking about. Why wouldn't you just put it on the effector of a 3D printer or mill head? Because that's not what I'm designing. I went through all of my options, like all those things, and this is how I want to do it. That's no any pictures, no. Trying to find an example of what I'm talking about. Images. Right. No, is that... It's really hard to tell from these pictures. Okay, it's really hard to tell from these pictures. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Okay, you see how this whole bed goes up and down? I mean, this is at the bottom. I want mine to be at the top that goes up and down, right? I want a flat surface that can go up and down. So it's got four, in this case it's got four corners. There are designs that don't have four corners. There are designs that use a single stepper to do it, like this. Right, but that silver platform, can I get a better image? So you see here, one stepper moves this metal platform up and down. Whether it's a bed or not, I want 4 points moving up and down. So I can put the camera anywhere I want to. Or if I add a second or a third, whatever I do with it, I don't want a single point moving up and down, ideally, right? It doesn't have to be a single step solution. I'm just saying there's different variations of this. Here's a single stepper version of it. You can get 2-stepper versions where it does opposite corners, 4-steppers, whatever. The point is, I don't want to build a 4-stepper solution to do this. See Discord. Rig vCore. Sure, I mean they still okay. So 4 steppers to go up and down. Yeah, I love this part of the talk. Everyone tells me I'm doing it wrong. Hey Dave, it does need to move. It needs to be able to position itself. Ideally, it'll be able to automatically position its Z to get itself in focus, if I can. It's not moving I don't want to move the camera. It's not moving the board around. It's getting the board height correct. Lab jack. I know what lab jack is. What's lab jack got to do with anything to do with this? Rich? Bristol? I'm not sure what lab jack, unless I'm thinking of something else. Like lab jacks for testing and automation, right? Yeah, what's lab jack got to do with anything? Sorry, I'm confused. How about I put some books under the board? Well, because that doesn't allow me to use it. It might allow me to play with it right now, but isn't really what I'm looking for. But I will need to adjust the height. Every panel is going to be different. A panel of nanos is smaller than a panel of tiny picos, which is smaller than a panel of Feather S2s. So why would I waste 30 or 40% of the frame resolution on a nano when I've got it configured for a Feather S2? I need to be able to drop it down to get closer to the board and focus itself. An adjustable height platform from LabJack. I mean, there's all sorts of adjustable height platforms, but it's not the bottom I want adjustable, it's the top. It's not the platform I want up and down. I need the camera to go up and down. No, I can't do it with zoom and focus on every single board because that's manual and that'll change every single time. This is an automated. I just did Amazon it. How about you send me the link, Rich? Like, I know you can't post URLs, but you can post the URL without the HTTP or HTTPS, and that'll go in, and then I'll have a look at it. But me just searching blindly on Amazon isn't going to help me. Sorry. Okay. So. Yeah. So my option for now. Oops. Lost my OBS window. Lost my... Wow. Okay. It's back. So I think my option for now... Oh, I can't see from that angle. Is... It could be just as simple as this for now. Right, I can stick these corner brackets here, and I can put these. It's not a long enough one, whatever. These on the side for now, and then I can just put some small ones across here for the mounting underneath, and I can just manually play around with the height of the four corners for now. I think that is just going to be the easiest thing to do. It's going to be the easiest thing for me to do right now. Essentially this with the camera mounted on the underside. Sure. Yeah. Essentially something like this there, but yeah, the camera is mounted on the bottom and it can go up and down, And again, doesn't have to be that, whatever. I don't know how it's going to be constructed. Look at my picture on Discord. Where'd you put a picture, Dave? Shipper's posted a link. Yeah, no, not one of these. I can't, no. That's not what I'm looking for. Thank you. I'm not looking at a raised bench. I'm looking at an adjustable height, top down thing. This is for the top, not for the bottom. Yeah, I've already explained that, Chris. I want the system to be able to automatically adjust itself to get the right position to frame the board keeping within its focal range. And I want it to do it. I don't want to have to do it. That would be my aim. And that means physically moving the platform up and down. Okay? No, I can't put that to the top. Okay, anyway. Yeah. I know what I want. I know why I want it. And looks like a good job for a monkey. Anyway, so 8:30. 2 hours. It's not bad. It took 2 hours for everyone to start telling me I'm doing it wrong. So that's pretty good. Oh, hey, Mark. I didn't see you there, mate. So I came here and people are telling you that you're doing it wrong. Life is normal. Yes. Or life is the same. Yep. Yep. Like, I've been thinking about this and designing this in my head for like 6 months, folks. Like, I'm pretty sure I know what I want to do for this iteration, right? I'm not looking at the final iteration on my first iteration. I'm looking at my first iteration on my first iteration. Emma met a real tiny pico. I hope it wasn't rude. I hope it said hello. Just say hi from Sion. Can you mount the camera on a vertical shaft somewhere, like a drill press type actuator? No, not for this iteration, not for this design, no. So it's to get framing because I can't do automatic focusing on this lens, right? This lens is a manual everything. But you can get fully automatic lenses. They're very expensive, but I can get full automatic lenses. What it can't do is it can auto zoom and it can auto focus. I don't want to do auto zoom. You remember, if I change the zoom, I change the perspective. What I want is I want it to be as zoomed out as possible all the time, right? To get the least amount of lens distortion as I can get. And then I want to move the height. Okay? Having the camera here, if I'm looking here, right, and I need to get closer, changing the focal length to get closer is not what you do. Changing the height is what you do. Getting the focal length as long as possible will give me the least amount of distortion, and then moving the camera doesn't change the distortion. It'll change the focus. So I want zoomed out as far as I can get, and I want to have the camera drop itself to frame the board to get maximum pixels as possible. And then for now I will have to manually focus because I can't change the focus on this automatically. But I can get a lens that can change it automatically. Okay? So then what I get is a system where it can position itself to get maximum pixels, and then it can focus on it. Won't go to Z-axis. Right, all I need to do all of that with manual focus for now, which is fine, is Z height. Okay? But I can't, if I'm going to do Z height for this camera, then I want for now a Z height that works on a frame. I want the whole frame to go up and down. Why? Because I don't know where I want to mount the camera yet. It might look like the camera should be mounted in the center of the frame, but not necessarily. It depends on my lighting. It depends on where the PCB is going to sit for maximum light and all sorts of other stuff, right? Like there's quite a few different things that could influence where the camera has to be on the X and the Y. So having a platform that can come up and down means I'm then able to put the camera wherever I want without even thinking about it. But if I don't do that, then my camera becomes fixed in place to get it up and down, and then everything about the rest of the design becomes completely rigid and unadjustable. And that's just stupid. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Move it back and forward and up and down on the gantry. Move in and out on the table. The table can't move up and down. The table has to be fixed height. Sorry, you meant the table as in the PCB? No, because that's going to eventually be on a conveyor. That can't go up and down. That's got to be fixed. You already asked that, Wagon Loads, about the drill press, or is that the same question? Oh, it might have been the same question again, sorry. Well, it could be 4 with 1 stepper, it could be 2 steppers, right? It's just got to, you know what, it can be manual right now. It can be a manual movement. Doesn't even need to be steppers, as long as the whole thing moves up and down, so I can add a stepper later. Moving the frame is easier. No, moving the frame isn't better, because then I can't automate it. Right? What I want to do is I never said it was going to be easy. Where in this whole conversation did I say I've got the easiest, quickest solution? Don't forget to disconnect the bed heater. Yeah, that's true. Right, except cable tie. Okay, can you find me a printer that is 700 or 70 centimeters high from the point where the camera would attach to the bed that can move up and down? Okay, you find me one, and I'll seriously take a look at it. Minimum of 70 centimeters is what I need. Okay. Oh, it's got to be under, like, $10,000. Rack and pinion. I've looked at all the kit-based ones. I need height. I need to get the camera as far away as possible to start with. Can you link the kit again? Chris, it's gone way too far back. So the Greek is to work with the largest boards, so maybe don't worry that smaller boards could be framed. I need the smaller boards to be framed more close up. I don't want to waste half my resolution on white space around the panel just because it's a smaller panel. That's silly. Like, yeah. Those lab jacks are too heavy, too big, too cumbersome. Not what I'm looking for. Thanks, Rich, but it's not what I'm looking for. Thank you. What am I even trying to do? Oh, you missed that. In Discord. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Now find me one that's 70 centimeters high. I've been through all of this. Thanks, guys. I've spent 6 months on this. Looked at every type of 3D printer kit, cube kit, framed kit, full solutions that I could rip apart. I need 70 centimeters high. And movement range of about maybe 20 centimeters or 10. I don't know yet. That's the point. I don't know yet. So how much movement range do I need? All of it. Right? I don't know yet, as I said. And then if I do change to a lens that has automatic focus, then it might be a completely different focal length. So I need that range. The Rat Rig V-Core, but get extra long verticals. Which one's the Rat Rig V-Core? Was that the one that someone else posted? Right. Yeah, anyway. A CR10S. Wait, so I'm going to buy a CR10S and then pull it apart and replace it with a 70 centimeter bar thing, which then gives me a fixed camera position that I can't move on the X and Y, but can only move the bed, but I can't move the bed because it's going to be a conveyor. How does that work? Okay, and can those printers move the head on the X and Y, or is it the bed that moves? I know what a CR10S is. So is it the bed that moves the 3D printer around, or is it the head? The head only moves up and down. How's that going to help me? Right, so how do I do a conveyor? How do I automate a PCB coming in, photo and out, when I can't do that? Right, I said conveyor wasn't sure, but I don't want to design myself into a hole right now. That's why. Okay, where's your link, Mark? Right, that one there. Get one of these. I looked at that, but that won't help what I want. That's not what I want. Thanks. And they're really expensive. Yeah. Okay. The bed comes down to 0 when loading, unloading. But then it can't be a conveyor. It can't be an in and an out. Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay. I think we should make a rule. The rule is, if you guys want to offer up alternate suggestions to what the way I'm going to do it, then you guys need to build your version of it. I know the Voron. Yeah. So everyone's telling me that what I want to do is too complex, but you're all giving me really, really complex or expensive or time-consuming things to have to use instead to re-pull apart, build, make, whatever. So the rule should be, If you think I'm doing it wrong and I should be using blah 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 and do it blah 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 instead, you need to do that. If you're not prepared to do that, then let me do it my way. Yeah, this is for inspection on the boards after, but if it works, I can use it for solder paste inspection on the boards before reflow. Right? I could use it for stenciled inspection. Are there any pads that don't have paste on them? Yes? Okay. Don't put the board in the on the pick and place machine. Right? Oh, there isn't? Cool. Continue on. Go in the pick and place machine. Comes out. Before you reflow it, are there any parts missing? Is anything being put on sideways? No? Cool. Go in the oven. Comes out in the oven. Okay. Inspect it again. Right? This one thing can be used everywhere across the whole production line for different things, right? So many overcomplicated ideas which seem to lack pragmatism. Yes, Mark, that is exactly what I want, and based on this, not based on me starting with something else. I want to do it just with this. Out of chaos of many random thoughts comes... Absolutely, Rob. That's why I allow the conversations like this to happen. Allow, you know what I mean. Not like I can tell you all what you can and can't do, but that's why I don't mind these conversations. But it gets to a point where the suggestions forget my requirements. Right? It starts with, this is my requirement, and this is what I want to do. Hey, have you thought about doing this instead that matches your requirement? To, here's a whole bunch of ideas, but whoops, sorry, we've just totally ignored your requirements now. That's the frustrating part, right? I don't know the height I want. The height needs to be adjustable, Chris. The height will change. Gaffer tape is always a solution. A hydraulic solution. Because that's not a simple first pass solution to this problem. Adjust the height of the head. Okay. Can we submit 3D model ideas on Discord? Yeah, go for it. Again, if you guys have an idea and you think that you've got a way to solve my solution with my requirement, put something together. Show it to me. You know what I mean? No one's bitched to Maglev. Well, I actually thought about, no, anyway. Excuse me. Yeah, a robot arm, again, isn't really what I want for this, for version 1. Idea creator, submit your ideas channel on Discord. And don't discuss on live chat. Or you can just submit it to the live streams channel. Sheet metal carriage that is belt driven on the Z, riding on linear rods. Flanged journal bearings. Linear rods come in lengths and you can be trimmed. Sure, something like that. Get one of these. Mark, I don't know if I want to click on that link. I don't know if I want to click on this link. Mark, are you going to send me down another $100,000 robot arm? Wow, 100 megapixel camera system. Sure, that'd be nice. Just get one of these, Mark says. So how much are these worth, Mark? Is there a price? I mean, I'd love resolution higher than what this camera can do. but I need to be able to like afford it and not send my kids into bankruptcy to pay for it. Where's the price? Is there a price? Hey, Iggy. Yeah, I always requirements is Rob. It's like I keep saying it all the time. Like I have a set of requirements. Mark's paying. Now Mark won't pay for this. Well, if he pays for it, he's going to keep it, right? There's no price. I can't. Someone find me a price. You can get arbitrary resolution with a step and image system. I don't know what a step and image system is in this case. Does the camera have to follow the movement of the items on the conveyor belt? No. No. If I had a conveyor, which is my ultimate plan, okay, let's forget about all the mechanical stuff. Okay? If I can find a software solution that is helpful, right? If I can put together some software on a single camera that allows me to check a board faster and more accurately than I can manually do myself under my microscope. Okay, and to be clear, I have manually checked, I'd like to say thousands of panels. It's thousands of panels, okay, under my microscope. I'm pretty good at it and I'm extremely fast at it, but it's tiring, and the more I have to sit there doing it, the more mistakes I make, the more things I miss, because it's just monotonous, right? It's a type of work for a robot. If I can get my current idea of a single camera with the lighting working okay, working as good as I can do, then what I do with the mechanical is up for grabs, okay? If I can get the software working, then conveyor and all those other things come into play. Am I designing a conveyor right now? Absolutely not. I'm designing a fixed frame, fixed PCB, adjustable height on the Z of the camera, so I can see if I can get the software working. And then if I can, then I will extrapolate from there. And will that then be a completely different mechanical design? Probably. But is it going to be now? No. Like, is that clear? But what I can't do is try my idea right now without the ability of dropping the camera height. If I do it by lifting the PCB height, sure, I can do that for now for the software, but that will not be usable for me to use this version 1 on more than just a board to test with. Like, if I can get my software working, I want to start using this straight away. Okay, and lifting the PCB height isn't the solution for me using it straight away. Dropping the camera height is. Is that clear? Yep. Okay, O402 meaning we'll need like 10 pixels on the small dimension. I don't know. I don't know yet. I need this frame set up to find out. No, they have to happen at the same time. What I don't need is the overly complex mounting solution that everyone's coming up with. I just need my simple idea that everyone seems to be shutting me down on. It just needs to be possible right now. It does not need to be automated. It will need to be automated. Right now it doesn't need to be, which is why I just said to everyone, I will just use these right angles right now and build something that I can manually move up and down. I said that before. Maybe everyone missed it. Yeah, a proper optical inspection system moves the camera around. Absolutely. They can also do 3D depth, and they do laser topography and all sorts of crazy stuff. And they also start secondhand at $30,000, right? Which is why I'm not buying one and why I'm building something, right? No, it can't be a tripod with adjustable legs. No. No. It's got to be built on this frame. Anyway, okay. Yep. What Cable Tie says. Just add pink LEDs and ship it. Yeah, pink LEDs might do. Zach Friedman's approach to add a to-do list or goal list to the stream. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. What software are you going to use? A trained AI? No, I need to train. I'm going to write the software and train it. Why? Because I want to learn how to do that. Ah, you missed the lighting stuff before. The lighting is going to be based on RGB LED strips that I will have fixed colors at fixed directions and blend together to get a range of depth. Disco ball and lasers. Different platforms at different height doesn't let me use a conveyor. A conveyor is fixed height. It's got to come out of my pick and place machine and line up with the conveyor. It's fixed height. The base cannot move. The panel dimensions are varying from um, 156 by 125. Write this down. 156 by 125. $164 by 98. $153 by 98. And these are not, like, this is just right now. Oh, wrong one. Hang on. Um, 123 by 96. I mean, I can sit here just measuring all these up all day. 163 by 114. But now we get to the bigger ones. Or bigger as in square. 134 by 145. And then, you know, if I ever do my Reflow Master Pro, could be 180 by, or 200 by 150. I mean, they'll be going through the short side, not the wider side. They'll be going through this way. So, conveyor coming here, coming out there. And the reason I've got it longer on this way is for stability, rather than having it the same width and height, more, less chance of falling over, rocking over. A per board adapter for the camera, because I don't want to have to pull the camera out and change it and remount an adapter and put it back on every time. Correct, I only need to adjust the, well, if it's on a conveyor, again, so this cannot fit in my production line. This shape cannot fit. It won't look like this. Okay, there's nowhere this can go. I mean, this would, like, the conveyor height is here. Like, how's this going to feed in, right? This could be something, a totally different shape, and 4 times the size if it's something that actually goes on a production line, right? And here's the thing, right? This might have no conveyor at all, but be on a conveyor. Like, I might integrate this into an existing conveyor where the existing conveyor goes over this, and this is sitting lower, and I need Z height adjustment. Like, you're asking me for what the final design is going to be, and I don't know. Like, the final design and application and where it's going to sit and how it's going to mount, I don't know. Will the camera have to be able to be movable? Most likely. On the Z, X, and Y? Most likely. Right? Is the Y position on a conveyor in the center of the conveyor? No. If you look at a conveyor, hang on. Really? Do you think I can get a photo of one of them? Okay, this is not the right. I'm just looking at images right now. Okay, so as an example, this is fixed on this front side. This back side changes direction, right, for the width of a PCB. It's not both things that open. The focal point is not in the middle. That would mean the camera would need to move to the center of the conveyor. So it has to go this way as well as up and down. So that's at least 2 axes it needs, right? Then, depending on where the stop point is on the conveyor, which uses sensors to do that, different length conveyors have a different stop point, okay? Rather than moving the whole frame, which won't work because if the PCB is a different length, then I need this way as well for the camera, right? So the camera will need to be able to move X, Y, and Z with a fixed position PCB on a varying position conveyor length, right? So I can't make this, I could potentially make this sit on top of the conveyor, maybe, if there's enough clearance, or I could integrate this into the conveyor, possibly. I wish there was a better picture of it. I mean, my conveyor looks a bit different. Looks similar. That's... No, I'm not ignoring. Sorry to ask again, but what's wrong with moving the camera only to get full coverage of the board? What's wrong with moving the camera in X, Y only? But what do you mean by only to get coverage of the board? So this system won't be fast enough to move the camera around to take different photographs, right? Like it needs to be the single photo, like single position. It just needs to be in the right position. So the top of the unit sits where needed, but the legs go to the floor. Possibly, or it sits on the conveyor, or it sits in the conveyor. It could straddle the conveyor, but then I can't get to the conveyor easily, right? I don't particularly want to straddle the conveyor. But, and I'm going to have different conveyor lengths. Because it's too slow. And because it's not necessarily accurate or repeatable. Because 4 cameras is 4 times the complexity and 4 times the price and 4 times the distortion and 20 times the software and blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying to find a single camera solution right now. The focus does change. Oh, you're talking about if I'm moving the camera around? Because it's too slow. Yeah, because it's not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm wanting to do. Single position, single photo. That's my plan, folks. If I want all 3 access to the cable gantry to platform to move in all directions based on 3 connection points. Okay. Sorry. My throat's starting to get sore. I think I'm going to... I've got stacks of work to do, so... Which is, you know, same, every day. No, I won't be using a drone. Oh, is Eric also doing a live stream? Cool. Could the frame the camera is mounted move the PCB with adjustment? No. No, if it's integrated with the conveyor, it won't be fixed to the conveyor. I can't, no. I'm looking at augmenting my conveyor if I do one, not hacking the conveyor. It's still got to work as is. It needs to work. Yeah, anyway, yeah. Stress level 7, cough level 6. Yeah, but they're doing this. I'm not stressed, not overly stressed, but the cough level is going up. Position only changes when the board run changes, but the position has to be changeable. Yeah. Folks, I'm going. Thank you all. Postal envelope scanner. I don't know what that is, but anyway. Sorry. Thanks all for joining on the stream, and hopefully I'll have something to show of this on the next stream. It's okay, Mike. They're usually mainly trolls, so I'm used to it. Same with Mark. Mike and Mark should hang out together more. Draw a plan or something for the next stream, please. No, I might show you it working on the next stream. Or I might not touch it again for 3 months. I don't know. If you knew the amount of boards I need to produce right now, yeah, you'd probably not expect to see anything for 6 months. for a commercial product, Chris, not for what I'm trying to do for phase 1. For phase 1, I don't need to do that right now. Yeah. My bar is not up here for phase 1. My bar is down here for phase 1. Right? So, yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye, everyone. Take care. Hope you all have a great week. The sun is out, but it's raining. Awesome. Great. Gotta love winter. Bye, everyone. If I can find the ending screen, there it is.